Hi, my name is Rachel Andrews. Welcome to Everyday Athlete. On this episode, I thought I'd take a little look at nutrition. I've been struggling a little bit in terms of being fueled properly for my swims, especially as I move longer and move closer to that 10k. I want to make sure that that all my effort pays off and that I am properly fueled for the job. So I've been reading quite a lot on some websites and kind of mishmash the information together. So normally I'd probably just have one gel during a 2-hour swim, but it appears that I am massively underdoing it on the energy front. So today I'm going to have a gel after 45 minutes. Then I'm going to have 4 measly jelly babies out of this container of 8, which I will have half an hour later, so at 1 hour 15. On from that, at 1 hour 45, I'll have another gel, and then at 2 hours 15, I will take another set of my last 4 little jelly babies. And then if I need it and I'm still in the water half an hour later, I'll take another gel. I know I can take the gels and they go down fine. Not sure how it's going to feel having a little chew of some jelly babies, but I'll give that a go as well. So we'll see if that peps me up and if I swim any quicker or if I recover any quicker. And when I get out, I'll be going home to have a proper meal. I've also got a drink which will be in my tow bag. I'm going to have a big dollop of that before I start, because logistically in the kind of tow bag I've got, which is one that does up totally like a dry bag, it's a bit of an ache to get into that to have a drink. So I'm going to review my tow bag situation and maybe have one of those kind of donut ones where I can pop the stuff in the top. I took a bunch of these with me. I think I actually ate 2 of them or drank 2 of these, and then I thought I'll take along some jelly babies. It seems that just 4 jelly babies equals 1 of those, and that's probably quite a bit easier to take and eat, but it's not as easy to carry as I found out. I was thinking of taking a little Tupperware box, but trying to tuck a Tupperware box into my swimming costume seemed a bit endless. So I thought, oh, I've got one of those pouches with like a Ziploc top set. I'll give that a go. So this is what happened. Although there are still some jelly babies in the bottom of it, well, at least shows you that they digest pretty quickly. So after being in the water for, first time I looked at them would have been after an hour and a quarter, and there was a fair amount of water in there. But I thought, well, I've had a fair amount of seawater in my mouth anyway, so that won't make too much difference. And actually they went down quite easily, and it was quite a nice little treat to eat some sweets. Bit slimy to get hold of, not great. I need to review the method of delivery, but actually they were fine. So this 5k was quite fruity. It was quite lumpy. I was against some tide that I didn't massively expect and didn't feel to start with. So it was quite an arduous training session, let's say. I feel quite chipper actually, and I'm looking forward to having a little snack now, which will be some fruit and nuts, and then I'll get home and have some lunch. So nutrition wise, that seems to have gone okay. Well, this morning you find me in pioneering spirit. I've decided to try a number of new things, so I'm hoping that 1 or 2 of them might work out okay. So first off, the dreaded tow float that keeps creeping up and getting me, I've decided to extend on a 2 metre piece of floating rope in the hopes that it won't keep getting me. And because it's floating this high, it's on the surface of the water, I shouldn't get my feet anywhere near that. So fingers crossed for a peaceful, non-creepy tapping up tow bag experience. The other thing is, from my nutrition last week, I suffered with wet jelly babies, which is something no one ever wants to suffer from, although it did show me that they melt pretty quickly. So I've also pioneering a new technique with those that I don't have to secrete on my body. Now I know this would be no good in an event, but in an event often the feed stations provide things like jelly babies, so I'd only have to put the gels in my swimming costume, which is what I've done. So here's my new technique. I bought a couple of these little bottles. You'll see I've got one with juice in it, so I can actually have a drink as I'm swimming along. I do have a drink inside the tow bag, but as I said before, it's a bit of an ache to get to it. And my next one is that I've got a sweetie jar or a treats jar. So I noticed that when I mentioned about the jelly babies, one of my friends who does triathlon said to me, "Oof, jelly babies, they're a bit rancid tasting. Why don't you try those Percy pigs?" But there weren't any to hand at the time in Asda. So what I got were these little, you might be able to see them in there, these tiny little sweets, which are mermaids. I thought, what could be better? So I got some Asda mermaids instead of Percy pigs. And interestingly, 4 of those is the same as 4 jelly babies. And I've also got a couple of pieces of flapjack wrapped up in there. So actually, when I have a little snack, I've got a bit of a choice. Mostly the choice would be what comes out the top of the bottle when I tip it. But fingers crossed, because it's a water bottle, it should stay waterproof. Look at that, floating treats. Good job it's not too windy, I could end up wrapped in them. So finally finished my swim. That was really quite an effort. I started off, as you know, in that river environment, but then actually it turned into a jellyfish soup. It was horrible. For the first 250 metres I saw about 1 moon jellyfish, a little one, every breath, so that's quite often. But then as I came around into the deeper water, I hit an absolute smack of them, and to be honest, it freaked me out. It was a little bit like swimming through marshmallows, and yeah, I wasn't keen. So anyway, swam back to the side, got out and relocated to the beach. So I've gone back in at Calshot and I've swum my 6k here. So these things work brilliantly. I was able to get a drink. It's got a straw inside, and just flipping this up, it kept the salt water out, and even though it was pretty wavy, I was able to get a drink. And using this, I tied it onto my tow float, so it just floated free, which was brilliant. And in here, the revelation for the snacks was that these things stayed dry. And now I've got a bit of a better opinion. I used jelly babies and also Asda mermaids. So the jelly babies are a little bit too sweet for my taste, to be honest, but they do dissolve quickly. These ones are a little less sweet, but they take a bit of chewing, so probably not my top choice. I'm still searching for my alternate one. And then the other thing I had was some flapjack wrapped up. The wrapping was a bit of an effort, but actually, as you only need to take one of these on board, that was quite easy, and it was nice to take the salt flavour away. So really, I've had quite a revelation today. The extended 2 metres worth of floating rope on my dry bag kept it well clear. A couple of times I caught my feet, but apart from that, it just sailed along behind me and didn't have any creepy bits where it caught up with me. And then hanging these things off it, well, that was brilliant. No need to have soaked jelly babies in a pouch in my swimming costume when I can just snack on them like I'm at a bar. Nice, and well, I don't know what bar has jelly babies, but superb. Thoroughly recommend. I think these things cost me about £2 from Asda. So I hope you've enjoyed this week's vlog and that you found the content useful. Let me know what you use. What do you have instead of jelly babies or mermaids or Percy pigs for the carbohydrate during your swim? I'm happy with the level of snacking. It just seems I'm eating all the time, but I didn't feel worn out and tired, and actually it seemed to manage my energy levels well. Give us a like, drop me a comment, let me know what it is that you have as a snack on your way and how you carry it when you're swimming. And also hit the subscribe button. There's a little circle here with my face in it. Please click on that. It'd be great to have you along. See you next time.